It is 8:30, it's time for the weekly meeting of the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors. We have an agenda in front of us. Item 3 is deleted. Tom did not have anything.
Well, I can give a little update then.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Just leave it on, I'll just give the,
Okay.
what he told me.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
He just said he wouldn't be here.
Oh,
He said, you can tell him.
okay, I'm sorry. My apologies.
All right. With that, I'd make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Been moved in second, further discussion, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. County Attorney General discussion.
Okay, just in no particular order, you've got this minutes for adoption of compliance procedures set for today, right, that resolution? You got that set, right? That's the one where you're going to, resolution adopting and improving tax compliance procedures relating to tax exempt bonds.
Yes, number 8.
That's set for today, so you've got all that. That's good to go. The minutes to set date for hearing or entering into a loan, that's been done, that's taken care of, right? That was done on December 10th.
No.
Everything's
Public
been published on that, you know. That stuff last week that Lowell asked me to take a look at, that Dan was prepared, that all looks fine to me. And like I said, the reason it looks to me like it's 18 years rather than 20 is I think that the TIF district expires in 20 years. And we're 2 years into it really already, so we've got to get those bonds paid off in 18. So that's, other than that, it looks fine. I would prefer that they sign it first, that Valent signs it first, because they're the one that's waiving notice and waiving hearing and all that stuff, so it doesn't make much sense for us to sign it first when they're the ones who have to waive everything. We can't waive anything. So on that, it looks good. I just have them waive it first before we sign. I know that asked last week whose preference to sign first. Be my preference, they sign first. This is just something I got from Lowell this morning. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. This is Smart Procedure Public Records Request. I'm not really sure if Smart Procedure actually does anything other than request all this information from counties and then try not to get it, and then if they don't, sue them under violation of the public. You know,
I think that's something that, there's
Yeah.
been a county that we talked, at Falls School had been, is being sued.
Yeah.
Name the county.
Well, they've got one somewhere
Jones,
out
I think.
east,
Jones or Jackson.
a state out east. It went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. You know, because there was a different, the law was different if you were a citizen versus if you were not a citizen, and they sued saying, hey, that's equal protection violation, you have to treat all citizens of the United States equally, and they said, no, you don't. So what they're requesting is this in electronic format, and if you don't have it in electronic format, well, you don't have to provide anything. So I think you can just respond, if you don't have it in an electronic format that complies with their system, you simply respond to them.
Okay.
You know, we've received your request and we do not have this in an electronic format. Under the law, we're not required to provide it if we don't have it. We don't have to create a special, document that works for you.
Apparently, a lot of other counties last week were receiving this, and there's a lot of
Well,
confusion.
they've done it. They've done it to the auditor, they've done it to the treasurer, and they're doing it to everybody, and they're doing it to every county in the state. And like I said, then when they don't get a response, then they sue, then they try and get damages and attorney's fees and everything else. I think that's their real business.
Yeah.
Do you think
So
it'd be a real
They're not
job?
interested in your
They just
records,
set up letters.
they just want to sue you.
Yeah.
That's what they
They're-
said.
It's a
So
whole
are
business.
they basically a poor attorney that can't make it
No,
otherwise?
they're a big company.
But I mean, why, I mean,
Money.
but then.
They're
yeah,
trying to
I mean,
catch you in violation of the open meeting law so they can sue you and get damages, and then you have to pay their attorney's fees too. They're just trying to make money by doing it.
Okay, so,
That's my opinion of what they're truly doing.
Okay.
They say, we've got all these legitimate purposes, but I've talked to the other counties, and they said, as far as we know, they don't do anything other than try to catch people in, or no, it was the AG's office. They said, as far as we know, all they try to do is catch people in counties in violation of the open meetings law, open records law, and then sue them and collect damages and attorney's fees. Because quite honestly, if they sue you, that last case that went to the Iowa Supreme Court, that county had to pay $60,000 in the other party's attorney's fees. So, you might just say, here's 20,000, just go away. If they can do that for 99 counties, they can make quite a bit of money. And then they'll move on to the next state. So, that's all I have.
Something in that book you just got. Keep read it.
Yeah, here it is in electronic format. So, no, I think you just kind of want to not get noticed by it, is what you want to do. So just say, we just don't have it in electronic format.
Good.
Anything else for the county attorney?
We did have the case management 2080 board meeting, and Sheila's going to be set to do the bylaws to review.
Okay.
Their county attorneys reviewed them, but they
Okay.
have to be reviewed.
Okay. All right,
All right, thank you kindly.
thank you.
Enjoy your book.
I've already read it once.
Okay, item 3, BBC project update.
Tom said-
Supervisor Buchlander.
Called this morning, so he wouldn't be able to make the meeting. He did indicate that the building for the pretreatment has arrived and is in the construction process and it is going up, and that nobody will be working there next week, so that's pretty much it. Everything's on schedule.
Okay,
And we got the notice that they're going to close through the fourth quarter of next year from Brenda.
Yeah, we did get that notice, but I would like a little more information, I think, and I may email her back. I mean,
Okay.
all the big stuff is done. I guess I don't understand why.
I don't either, I mean,
It's all email her, and we can get something.
I would hope that next summer we can actually get the thing upgraded and back.
Well, I was gonna ask Rich, are we plowing the road or are they plowing it?
I think it sounded like we were, because he said it was going to be a pain for maintaining the road with the.
Well, then maybe we should just open it, you know? Let me, one more email, and then we'll find out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Item 4, approve the claims. Well, Sheriff Beaver went outside.
Mark took him outside.
Yeah, I want to wait, I got a question for him on the claims.
You're not coming to.
No.
No,
Anybody else have any questions on the claims? My question is that I see there was 3 service contracts under the sheriff's department for copier maintenance, and then Ray Huffland also has one. I mean, that would be 4 of them in the same building. Why do they have 4 copiers in the same building? We get by with 1 copier for all of us. And
You just want an explanation?
yeah.
Okay, well, do you want a motion to approve the claims? We're not gonna not approve the claims just because of that.
Right,
All
right.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Okay, I'd second that.
It's been moved and seconded, further discussion.
Well, if the copier's in somebody's room and it's locked, then you pretty much gotta have your own.
But
I mean,
And the
we're-
one in the sheriff's office is just in that, Julie Johnson.
Right.
I
I
suppose-
mean, there's somewhere in the sheriff's office 24/7, 365, they should be able to have access to that copier. I mean, I don't care which office you're coming from, I mean, that,
Then does Ginger have her own too then?
I have no idea, but, I mean, there's, just does not make a lot of sense that we have 4 different copiers in that one.
Maybe are they all big copiers, or are they like bigger copier, fax scanner type things?
I'm not sure, but yeah, I think they do. Ray has his own fax number. Top of my head, I can't
But,
remember.
I mean,
Sheriff.
if you have the small whatever, do you have to have
That's just a
monthly
printer
maintenance?
then.
Do
Yeah,
have-
you don't have maintenance on
You don't
those.
have monthly maintenance. It's,
I'll get with you. I will, yeah.
question, Sheriff Faber.
Yep.
Under your claims, there's 3 different claims for copier maintenance, and then Ray has one also. Why do we have 4 copiers in your building? I mean, why can't we be,
There's 2 copiers in my building, and everybody pays by the number that they use. See, before I was paying the whole bill, and then when we updated our copiers, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago, everybody enters their own data code now, keeps a number of emergency management making copies, jail staff making copies, sheriff's office making copies, then everybody's billed appropriately. So that's why you see
So it's one bill,
that.
and this is a distribution of
Yes.
the equal cost.
Okay.
We get one bill, then Julie looks at it, enters the right charging codes essentially,
no
and
problem,
then it
but it
goes
would look
out.
like there's 4 different
Nope.
copiers there.
Actually, we went from about 8 down to 2, because I didn't want to maintain all those by ribbons and ink and whatever it is they took. So we went down to 2. They're leased for 3 years, and we'll update again, and
Sure.
that's how it's charged out.
Yep,
Thank
no,
you.
no problem. Thank you kindly. Further discussion? Paulus,
Aye.
Wolflander.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. Public hearings. We can go to item 7, can't we? That does not have a
Correct,
public
yeah.
hearing. We will drop down to item 7, approve resolution 899-13, authorizing and approving a certain loan agreement and providing for the issuance of $6,410,000 general obligation county purpose bond series 2013A and providing for the levy of taxes to pay the same. Has everybody had a chance to read resolution 899-13?
Have a chance to read it.
Yes.
I make a motion to approve it.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved in second, further discussion. Hearing none, Wolflander.
Aye.
Paulus.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. Item 8, approve resolution 900-13, adopting and approving tax compliant procedures relating to tax exempt bonds. This is something that the bonding council said that we had to have as part of our resolutions, I believe, Will? Is that right?
Correct. Prepared by John Daniels.
That is correct. Has everybody had a chance to read resolution 900-13?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this it?
No, that's for the public hearing.
That's the public hearing.
This is one
Oh,
they,
900
last week they
dash
said they
13.
needed to have
Yep.
this, so.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 900-13.
I'll second.
Moved in second, further discussion. Hearing none, Paulus.
Aye.
Wolflander.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. Approve the minutes. We had I asked for just a little bit of an update on the minutes on last week, offering the reward for the arrest and conviction of, that was for the $1,000. And that would go through the Walker Murphy trust account. That way it's not a public document. That was the only changes I had.
And then also there is the minutes from the
Case management.
case management fee. It's not on the, attached or on the same sheet.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the board meeting and from the case management 2080 meeting.
I'll second.
Been moved in second, further discussion. Hearing none, opposed?
Aye.
Both
Aye.
Well, aye, motion carried. Property and building values.
Take a chance to look at your property values and decide what you want to do. County care, current value right now is 700,000. The value on it, the value is 1.6 million to replace it. Right now, I don't know if it's strong enough to blow it down, and probably blow the roof off, you know. It's pretty much all masonry. The annex. I don't know, we got 80,000 in value on that, but they're giving a value of 680,000.
Annex?
I don't really think about that. I mean, basically what we want is to clean it up, right?
Yeah, you want to read that well?
Law enforcement center, they got that, we're valued at 3.2 and they call it 3.2. I mean, we're okay on that. Radio towers, they said the radio towers are the real big ones that are underinsured and all hurt. We got 25,000 on it, and they said it's 115,000 to replace. County services, that's 700,000 value. They put a value of 750,000 on it. County care facility we just talked about. Shop roads maintenance, 400,000. They've got 742,000 on our maintenance shed. Engineer's office is current value is 75,000, what we have insured for, it's 148,000 to replace. Cold storage building is 99,000, and it's 404,000 to replace. Salt shed, 32,000, 136,000 to replace. Nature center, 645,000, what we have on it, 641,000. Actually, we're a little overinsured on that according to them. Cold storage, I'm assuming that this is at the nature center. That was at 55,000, then it's 118 to replace. The cabin is 60,000, and they say it should be insured for 61.5. The powerhouse, current value is 100,000. To replace it's 235,000. The shop at Stacyville is 118,000. They say it'd be 177,000 to replace. And the radio tower at Stacyville is insured for 17. It'd be 120,000 to replace. County shop at St. Ansgar, 101,000. It'd be 147,000 to replace. And the Wapsie Welcome Center is 250,000 insured. It's 472,000 to replace it. So the total values is 6.6 million, and Gallagher puts 10 million on all of our values. So there's a difference between, our premium is $21,971, and if we were to insure to their values, it'd be $32,824.
Additional or?
No, just the difference, yeah. The difference between 21 and 32, what, another 11?
Oh, 11.
$11,000.
That isn't so bad, is it?
No.
I mean, it's really not,
You said it'd be updated the first 6 months. This
Right.
6 months, they won't change the rate, it'll be for next.
We can increase these values, we won't get any premium notice or anything like that, but come July 1, that's what the rates will be, I mean, it'll be 32,000. Try that with your other insurance companies. You know, I mean, that's one of the things that being in the pool that they can do, but if you reduce anything, they're not gonna give you a credit back either, so. I don't know, to me, the radio towers seem to be the biggest problem there. I mean,
well, in that shop at St. Ansgar, I don't see how you, I mean, even us having 100 and some, the thing isn't worth it. I mean, you're not gonna get that kind of bid.
no, we won't be able to sell it for that.
No.
So we could just, we could just well leave it there, and then,
Yeah.
but we're gonna build a new shop this coming year, I think,
Right.
right there. So,
Can you choose specific the items to update,
Oh, yeah.
so we could just send one
Yeah.
direct.
I think I'd maybe do the radio towers,
Mhm.
yeah, but how often? Okay, we'll do the radio towers there and radio tower at Stacyville. Leave the shop, the Wapsie Center over at Riceville.
Well, you know, really, in one respect, is that ours, or is that belong to the Wapsie Great? Well, I mean, it's,
No, I think that's ours. That's the county owns that.
That's 200,000 under insurance,
Right.
if you better correct that.
400,000 on that.
that
That's,
would you really replace? I mean,
you would probably replace it with something. Because they've got that nice basement, you know, in the meeting area and that walkout and, yeah, they've done a really
Yeah.
nice job with it and it's a good meeting place. And the new part on the south, you know, the stairway and all that's all new. 472,000,
It's $150 extra to put it up to the right amount, isn't it? Or-
that's 820 would go to 1551. No, I'm, yeah, no, that's one, yeah, that's right.
Maybe we want to replace it with something appropriate.
Well, we're not talking about money there.
No.
No.
no, that's,
That's due, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of and the shop at Riceville, 39,000, what we got on it, should be 143, maybe we should,
yeah, I don't disagree with that either.
and the shop in Stacyville, we got 118, we should probably move those to their values.
For sure, because we'll have to replace them.
Powerhouse, that's 389 premium, go to 583.
So
Well, I
it's-
think we're gonna have to be,
We have to have the turbines anyway, at some point, we talked about. Were you gonna check on that and see if it covered, because we are gonna have the turbines at some point?
Well, they're in there,
but I don't think,
Okay.
they're not ours.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gavin, well, you only look over there, 300 dollars probably roughly, or 3 something. Cold storage, we should probably bump up,
Yep.
we should probably bump up everything. Nature center, we should just, that should be at the current value, whatever they're gonna do. Salt shed, 32 to 136. $300 more there, but that's out of Richie's budget, so.
Yeah. Well, we have the room take it out here. Were you on board then?
It's just been before.
We had quite a bit of damage, didn't we, that time with the wind and that salt shed?
That was on that 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds that came through the county, I remember that. I wasn't on the board at that time, but.
Probably 2002. And then,
Well, that cold storage out there is 99.5, that's 400 is valued, so there's almost $1,000 of extra insurance on that.
No, but,
that would triple, or
Engineer's office,
yeah, really all,
everything, pretty much,
Pretty
except for
much.
St.
All
Anne's
right.
replacing it.
yeah, well, the county care, what do you wanna do about that then? That's 1.6 or 700,000.
would we,
It's a big difference.
would we build new, or would we go to another?
How do those fare in a F4 tornado? I mean, I guess, when I go out there, I see this thing as just a solid chunk of concrete, you know?
they lose your roof and your windows.
That's what I'm thinking. I hope not anybody inside, but. So I don't know, I mean,
Most counties have gone away with those through the years.
you're looking at probably $3,200 more to insure it for the 1.6. If you insure it for 1.6, what then would you knock it, tear it down and build something different? Or just close it completely?
That would be the question.
I would say Bob, if it went down, he wouldn't.
Wouldn't want it
go.
back, no.
No. You'd probably at that point have to lose your grandfather and have to place him somewhere else.
So then you would be
Some years in.
so you're probably looking at a probably $200,000 cleanup out there. And so I'm assuming we would get $500,000 to whatever. They'd pay us at the current value. So leave the county care facility where it's at, and the annex where it's at, and move everything else to the current value of the Gallagher Bassett.
Well, except the shop at St. Anne's.
Leave that off, yeah. Shop at St. Anne's, county shop at St. Yeah, I got that wrong. And the cabin, we're gonna do that, and the powerhouse, we just as well bump that up. Just maintenance, shed. County care, no. County services building, yes. Law enforcement center, yes. So the only three that we're gonna do is the annex leave the same, county care facility leave the same, and the county shop at St. Ansker leave the same. We got 101,000 on it, if we roll it down, that
Yep.
almost makes you wanna pray for a storm, don't it?
You want nothing, then you keep the building.
Well, we could use that money towards the new shops. But, no, we don't want a storm. We don't want, so, anyway,
I
that's.
need a motion to do that.
What probably wouldn't hurt.
I'll make a motion to Supervisor Volklander increase the property values on all county properties except St. Anne's Shop, Mitchell County Care, and the annex.
I'd second that motion.
It's been moved and second for the discussion. Hollis.
Aye.
Volkman.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. It's 9:00. We have a public hearing scheduled on proposed action to institute proceedings to enter into a loan agreement and borrow money in the principal not to exceed $500,000. Auditor Tesh, did you have any comments, written or oral?
No, I did not.
Supervisors, did you receive any written or oral comments?
I did.
I did not.
I had one request to inquire as to the amount that has been spent on the courthouse as of yet. And that, I had them look that up this morning, and FEH, we paid $421,000. The tree removal was $8,200. Advanced environmental, which was the asbestos abatement, was $82,000. And we haven't got the bill for the drilling, and I don't recall what
About $10,000.
10,000. So the total spent so far is 521,500 approximately. That was from an individual that won that.
I think it's right around 10,000, 9,800. It seems like it's.
And then I did receive written comment as well. And I was asked to read them. It says, I have prepared these remarks in opposition to the proposed action to enter into a loan agreement and borrow money in a principal amount not to exceed $500,000. I have chosen to have the statement read by Supervisor Paulus rather than personally attending, as I have been treated less than respectfully in the past, even to be deleted from the agenda. I have been a part of the Friends of the Courthouse and have used the venue as a voice of reason to ensure that all aspects have been studied before a final decision was made by the Board of Supervisors in regard to renovating versus demolition. Quite simply, I wanted the public to have the very best facts before a final decision was made. Over the course of the last year and a half, there have been numerous stories of cities and counties making the decision to preserve important parts of their history, namely historic buildings and courthouses. A recent remark from a citizen is, quote, I guess we live in the wrong county, in reference to the article in the Globe Gazette headed Polk County Courthouse renovations begin. It went on to state that work had started on a project to renovate the 107-year-old Polk County Courthouse and consolidate the county's court services. The work is funded by $81 million bond issue approved by the voters in November. It seems clear that Mitchell County Courthouse did not stand a chance of renovation. From the beginning, the Board of Supervisors, along with custodian Dave Hartle, have sold the public on the negatives of the present facility. The public has been disenchanted by the attitude of the Board of Supervisors and being treated rudely when desiring to ask a question. The statement was made upon approving the FEH architectural firm that they were chosen as they know how to sell a new courthouse to the public. The Board of Supervisors has been sold a building much larger than the needs of the county due to the design of the courts. Early discussions at public meetings, it was asked what the state standards were in regards to the courts. Both the architects and court administrator admitted there were none. Iowa Code Section 602.1303 language states that, quote, "A county shall provide courtrooms, offices, and other physical facilities which in the judgment of the Board of Supervisors are suitable," end quote. We are now being told by two of the members of the board that the design is mandated, and they had no choice. I have walked in the shoes of the county supervisor. I was one of the members who had unanimously approved selling of up to $3.5 million in certificates of participation to enter into a lease purchase agreement for a new law enforcement/jail. After hearing concerns of constituents at the public hearing that the jail portion was too large for Mitchell County needs, the Board of Supervisors asked the architect who had designed the building to scale back the center by looking at ways to make the jail smaller. I happen to have the editorial from the Globe Gazette dated October 8, 1998 that told the story of the Board of Supervisors first making a decision and then backing down after public input. I quote from the editorial: "The important part of the equation is that the 3 supervisors listened to Mitchell County residents at the Monday night meeting. That's important for any elected official, but especially when $3.5 million in 25 years is at stake. We elect and pay our officials to make those tough decisions, and it appears that the 3 members of the Board of Supervisors did just that this week. It is refreshing to see that those 3 members also look to the public for valuable input. I tell you this because we did change course after the architect had completed plans for a larger facility. Ultimately, the Board of Supervisors decided against a lease purchase agreement, and a new approach to design was used in 1999-2000. Construction seems imminent. I can only speak to the sadness of seeing the rape of the grounds by cutting down the 14 trees, the lack of interest of 2 board members in allowing preservation of historical artifacts, and their disdain in listening to the public comments in a public hearing. A public hearing is just for that purpose, allowing comments by the public. Thank you, Betty McCarthy."
Does she feel better now?
I think so. Yes.
That's good.
That's it. That's the only comments I received.
And I would have to disagree with her that we started out from the beginning with the idea of getting rid of the old courthouse.
It's not true at all.
We spent a lot of money trying to preserve it. When it was told that it was no longer feasible to preserve it, that is when I changed my mind. And I don't know how many times we have to sit here at a public meeting and explain the same thing, and it doesn't quite seem to soak in to this one former supervisor.
And we need a copy of that.
Okay.
I'm very disappointed with your remarks. That said, we'll open it up for public comments.
My question is, what's the $500,000 going to be used for?
Demolition.
I don't have anything. I didn't know what you were talking about. That's the demolition part. Has that already been discussed or approved or?
Well, that's $231,900 is what's
Right,
gonna cost
that
for
part.
demolition. There's a
Yeah.
lot of soft costs
Okay.
involved with all that. We could use the money to pay the environmental
Okay.
abatement. Don't worry, there's plenty of places. It's not going for the supervisor's hot tub or anything.
You can keep all that, Jim.
Okay.
There seems to be some discussion, the Press News has official notification that says this is going to be general obligation bonds. The agenda says a loan. What are we doing? General obligation revenue bonds going to the local bank? What kind of a loan is it? Is it part of revenue bonds?
Well, if we go to the local bank, it wouldn't necessarily be bonds, it would just be borrowing the money from the bank.
Pardon?
If we go to the local bank, we'll just borrow the money from the local banks, for short term, and then this could be part of whatever happens in the spring. Or we'll just owe the money to the bank, and then that would probably be on debt service.
So it is not revenue bonds, it is not general obligation bonds.
This part is probably not, until we get there.
Yeah, but I mean, as of now,
Right.
When we met with Jeff Heil, he recommended doing a local loan, and then when we did bonds later, we could pay it off
Right.
with the bond revenue at the time.
okay.
I guess I just
But if
have,
that doesn't happen, then it could probably go on the debt service, because we'll have already spent the money, and we'll need to be paying the bond, or the loan agreement. But,
I was just curious because it does say general obligation bonds in the paper.
well, we don't write the paper, so.
That's in the legal that was printed, that came from here, not what we put in the paper, because we didn't have anything.
Section 2 of Resolution 898-13 says, further action with respect to the loan agreement and the issuance of bonds or notes in connection therewith is hereby. So it can be bonds or notes. That is what the resolution states. And
I guess I just have one question. Of the money that's been spent so far, is it your intention, once there's sufficient funds in the TIF account, to pay that money back to the, I suppose it came out of, it was just on the taxpayers, right? So what, the 521,000, that just has come out of the general funds, right? Is it your intention to, once the, I understand the TIF funds weren't sufficient currently to pay those back, but that will be then paid back? I'm just a question. Because, my understanding was, this would all be financed with the TIF money, and will this then also, once there's sufficient funds?
come May, it is at least my intention, I think it was the intention of the board, that we will set a date for a public hearing, and at that time, we will pretty well have a dollar amount, and then, like you say, that we will pay this off, and it'll become part of the whole big, one note.
Okay,
The
that was
TIF
just my only question.
The TIF, there's an advantage to Mitchell County to use TIF. And the advantage is that, and I hate to always continue to bring this up on the public camera because it can cause us problems. Not per se, but laws can get changed. But it's to our advantage that TIF revenues are backfilled by the state of Iowa. And so when, right now, my school taxes in the rural part, I think, are 44% of my total taxes. It used to be around 50%, but the windmills have changed it. When it was 50%, and those taxes are backfilled at 87.5%, we're getting an additional, about 45% additional monies from the state in order to take care of our obligations.
No,
It's a very good,
Yeah, you answered my
It's a-
question.
it's a
I
very good
understand that.
use of TIF.
Yeah.
And if we can continue to use it, we are the ones that really are getting the advantage. Otherwise, down at Des Moines, they're gonna come up with some other kind of foolish thing that they'll wanna spend it on and not spend it here in Mitchell County. And so, I think this board has been very wise in figuring out how to bring outside monies into the county to pay for some of our obligations.
Well, you answered my question.
Good. Anybody else?
Back to that $500,000, according to Jeff Heil, that doesn't necessarily need to be on the TIF. That can be general obligations if we so desired, because to just to demo a building, it's not,
Says that in the notes.
yeah, it's not subject to, vote or anything to that.
It's an essential purpose.
It's an essential purpose.
I wasn't questioning that.
Is there any clue as to what this is gonna cost in terms of percentage interest?
Oh, it will only go up probably as the Fed quits buying bonds. But should have jumped on board a long time ago, I think.
So you don't know at this point what the rate is?
Now, I mean,
Not
we'll
until
know.
we put it out for bids. We
Okay.
have to have first the permission to put it out for bids, and then at a point in time, on a certain day, it goes out for bids, and that is when the companies make their offer in that, and that's when Jeff will lock in.
Even this 500,000 local loan?
Go competitive bid with all the banks, I assume, right? We'll let them all have the option of saying how much they're gonna do and get the lowest.
And he may decide that, to go with a regular bond. I mean, it's not locked in stone that we have to go with the local banks either. Further discussion? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing, excuse me, at 9:15. Item 6, approval of resolution 898-13, taking additional action to enter into a loan agreement and borrow the money in the principal amount not to exceed $500,000.
I'll make a motion to approve 898-13.
I will second. Been moved and second, further discussion. Hearing none, vote Landon.
Aye.
Walk, aye. Hollis.
Nay.
Motion carried. Item 7, approve resolution 899-13.
We did that.
Get that one.
Oh,
We're at 11 already.
okay, I'm sorry. I didn't cross it off in my thing. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, item 11, discuss and possible action on comp board recommendations. Auditor Tesh, what was the comp board recommendations?
Board for the auditor, recorder, and treasurer is $1,514. County attorney, $1,720. Sheriff, $2,063. Board of supervisors, $1,047, with the chairperson receiving $100 per month. That all equates to 3%.
Supervisors, if you want to accept it, we can. You cannot raise it, we can lower it. But you also have, the code was changed here about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that, that you can treat the supervisor separately than anybody else. And that was done down in Cedar Rapids because they thought that the supervisors there should lower their own wages, not anybody else's. So the code was changed.
What?
I don't know what I'm supposed to, what we're supposed to do. It says possible, please discuss or
Do you
what?
want to accept the recommendations? Do you want to table it? Do you want to lower it?
I'd table it for right now. Gotta talk to Barb a little bit. But we'll probably wanna know before we start our budget hearings, so we know about where we're at.
And I haven't got the, maybe I did.
It's-
Maybe
It's in there,
It's
the
in-
dates and times.
No, I mean for us doing our supervisor
Yeah.
worksheet.
It's,
It's got it.
Oh, okay, I missed it.
Well, I guess we need to know for him to do the the worksheet.
Well, to complete it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, your FICA and NIPER's all are a percentage of that. And the hourly people.
Well, I'll just make a motion, go ahead and accept the compensation board recommendations. Across the board, 3%.
Second the motion.
Been moved and second, further discussion.
And in the end, if we find out we're gonna have problems, we could go back and rescind that motion, right?
Since we,
Yeah,
That would take effect to July 1st.
Right, but I mean, for purposes of knowing, and it's the same way with the health insurance, we need to know what that is, and we've got those rates. So now, when the department heads come for the budget hearing, they'll be able to have a pretty darn good, this is what it is, and this is where we're at. Okay.
Okay? Oaklander.
Aye.
Hollis.
Aye.
Walk. Aye. Motion carried. Health insurance. Auditor Tisch.
Yeah, we did get last week got our health insurance rates from ISAC, and Friday, we've gotten an email back that they had some miscalculations, and actually our rates were lowered, like around $20-some on the single. So actually, our proposed insurance rates for Plan 11 will be less than what we are paying now. It's $560 a month.
And so we need to continue to encourage our employees to do the wellness thing, because that does equate in percentage off of our insurance.
We got a 3.61% reduction, I believe, almost 4%.
For everything they participate in the wellness, that overall average, that translates into that same percentage reduction in our premiums, so, and up to 5%, so it does add up.
That'd be a very good thing if we can continue that and save the county money.
Basically, we need a motion to accept the rates. I
I'll
think.
make a motion to accept the health insurance rates.
I will second the motion.
Been moved and second, further discussion. Hearing none, Oaklander.
Aye.
Hollis.
Aye.
Walk. Aye. Motion carried. Meetings attended.
Went to the Riceville Kiwanis meeting. That was good.
Sometimes you draw a blank.
I was the presenter, so the program was great.
Had a Prairie Ridge executive meeting on Thursday noon. It was called to discuss the Affordable Care Act and how they should proceed over there. And there are some different rules and regulations about how you become a group now. And at the present time, Prairie Ridge gives their employees $550 a month stipend, whereas they can go wherever they want to buy their health care. That's no longer, they can't do that. Wait a minute, I think they can do it for one more year, but anyway, we had to increase it. I think the recommendation was to increase that to $600. They'll continue to do, they will not form their group the way I understand it this year, but they will continue to give the $600. But what will happen is it will also, they give a percentage, it will come out as compensation, and part of their compensation goes into a 401k plan percent. And so that this will, for 1 year, will possibly raise that $20,000 expenditure in Prairie Ridge to the employees until next year's time. If they become a group or however they do it, then that will go away. But it's the only way we can see to get through to now until next year. So that was our discussion. And a couple other minor details, but that was discussed there. And that healthcare thing is really, I think, in my own opinion, I think you could have had a national committee, a group of people, and come up with a plan so much better than what we have now.
ISAC, we had a presenter come talk about it. He talked about how huge it was. And then it usually translates like 3 to 1
3 to 1 more.
pages of code or whatever to documents. And he said it was huge to begin with. He doesn't know how they're gonna make the laws because it's just atrocious. It's just,
I think that they deliberately made it difficult so that would be hard for individuals. It can't be possibly that hard. I just can't believe it. I mean, just, and then when you read about it, you know, they blame the president for it. You know, that's what I read in the paper. I want to blame the Congress. They're the ones that sat down there and with all the people, and I can still to this day remember watching that on TV. You could watch that on C-SPAN. I watched part of that. You'd see Senator Baucus, Senator Grassley, and right behind him was the Wellmarks and the United Healthcare people, and they were all sitting there around there, and one would get out of the chair and the next one would move in, and they screwed it up. That's, I shouldn't get on my soapbox, but that just kind of makes me mad. I mean, it's,
No, you're exactly correct. It's no longer for the benefit of the majority of the citizens. It's for the benefit of those who have the biggest money to contribute to the Congress and,
right.
and
And congressmen are excluded from it.
Well, that was planned.
And this year is the best bought Congress that,
Yeah. Best
Money can buy.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, and they did what? They didn't do a thing all year long, and now in the last 2 weeks, look what they've done. You know, they passed a budget, and they, gee, that was hard.
deadlines.
It's sad, that's what it is. Just put everybody on Medicare. I already had a plan in place.
Item B, manure management plan updates.
What, really? Anyway, I could go on for hours about this. I just, gets my blood
We have,
pressure up.
we have one manure management from C and M Pork in section 1 of East Lincoln.
So noted. Item C, Board of Health appointment.
Evidently need somebody from the Board of Health. There you go.
No,
No, an appointment.
Well,
To replace,
yeah.
you're on the Board of Health as a supervisor.
I know.
Kim Barker no longer wants to be.
Right, she's
Her
retired.
time is up. So.
So we gotta go out and find somebody.
Evidently.
What's the criteria, just a citizen of Mitchell
Oh,
County or
usually
what?
they think they have to have some knowledge of healthcare, I guess.
Well, and gender balanced is right now,
A big deal. So it must be, probably has to be a female. We're thinking to replace a female.
not necessarily, because it's just like county conservation, you still only have one female and
But
I
if
mean,
we're
and that's
balanced
going
right
up,
now,
yeah.
we should probably replace a female with a female, or not.
well, I mean, not necessarily, it depends on what,
Yeah, I see, and there's,
because if you have a 7-person board and you only have 2 males, you really then need another male.
Right. But what I'm saying is right now, if they're balanced, do we need to find
I
out
don't-
if the
I
gender
think
balance?
that-
I don't think
Yeah.
that board's balanced.
But didn't Bob Beckham?
He's off.
He's off.
Yeah.
David Beckham.
David Beckham.
David.
Yeah, so I don't remember it being a balanced board,
So we should
no.
ask them what we need, if we need to gender.
Um,
I talked to Levon, she had contacted somebody up the Statesville area, and they decided not to.
It's hard to get anybody.
What's the commitment, monthly or?
The meetings are at noon,
And I know, that's,
once a month, so yeah, you're limited for people that can attend.
well, it's
Yeah.
always been, we'll keep working on it.
Okay. Last item, 2014 holiday schedule.
Yes, I expressed my views last week, so the department heads just want to stay consistent, like they've done in recent years.
And again, I would just assume that if we have, be here on President's Day and give them a flex date that they can use anytime they want. If they all wanted to use
Is
it
that
on
your
President's
motion?
Day. No, I'm not making the motion, but I mean,
Just more to keep track of if you go that route,
What?
no,
if you have a personal day.
So what?
so what?
Well, approve the holiday schedule and give them a personal day.
Is that your motion?
Well, I mean, that'd cure it, wouldn't it?
Well, they're not asking for personal day. I mean, that's quite a, if you don't have President's Day, you go from January 1st for a whole day till the end of May for Memorial Day.
But they can take their day off when they want it. If they have a need for it between there, they can take it.
But there's no post office, there's no banks that day, the public is used to that for,
I know.
one place that I've been here 30 years and we've always had President's Day off. Not to say you don't change things, but
It doesn't matter to me.
the public is accustomed to it, I guess.
Really, though. How about you? Does it matter to you? Okay.
Does
It
not
doesn't
matter
matter,
to
it
me.
doesn't matter to me, I'll be here if
I'd make a motion to approve the holiday schedule.
And I'll second it.
They almost, you can tell them, they almost got a free day.
Been moved and seconded,
That's
further discussion.
Forcing them off. Didn't get it.
Well, then you're going over the number of holidays that is.
There's a lot of places that have more than that, many holidays.
You know.
Look at the paper, they have all kinds of holidays.
Oh, yeah. Right.
No, there is, I think the landfill's got one extra holiday than you guys got. And,
Like
You know.
Martin Luther and Presidents or something.
I can't remember what it is, I think they get the birthday off or something like that.
We
Maybe
used to
I'm
have
wrong.
it.
We used to do
Jan
that.
remembers that.
We used to have our birthdays off.
Or any other day that you chose.
Right, your choice.
Right, I mean, that's really kind of nice, but it's,
Do you guys still have skinny days? Greg?
Nope,
oh yeah, I remember.
they worked when we had them, but we don't have them anymore.
They kept their weight within the range, they got a day off every.
Well, but they should have, regardless, I mean, again, keep the, I mean, that's,
Well, they
Part of
don't.
our wellness
Well.
incentive.
But on the other hand, I mean, everybody here, it's a day and a half sick leave month, so. I mean,
And the vacation.
And their vacation and the holidays and,
but I mean, there's people that never abuse sick leave, and so if you only have 2 weeks, that's all you get.
right.
And I mean, if you need to have a,
Discussion on paid time off.
And I think it's about 50-50 across the board, if I remember right when I looked it up. I mean, whether you've got sick leave or paid time off, I mean, how different companies are doing it.
Usually they accrue less.
They approved your holidays. Is that what you're referring to? They approved your holiday schedule. They approved it. Stan almost gave you an extra day off. and-
Oh, they're all done?
They're all done. They approved the holiday schedule.
It's just a
Well, we
motion.
tried to give them an extra floating holiday, but
further discussion? Hearing none, no planner.
Aye.
Paulus,
Aye.
Walk, nay, motion carried.
we'll work on that next year.
Anything else for the good of the cause?
What else is there? Well, it's the last meeting, no,
No, you got
One.
we're gonna do this again next week on Monday,
Yes, Tuesday.
No.
Tuesday?
We're here in the morning.
New Year's
Okay.
Day.
Bring your $10 for the Legion tickets, I'll have them next
No, you
Tuesday.
think- I wanna win once.
Well, Mark walked one once.
I'll try to do that. Okay, next Tuesday morning, okay.
Nothing else for the good of the cause, we will stand adjourned at 9:32.
Everybody have a Merry Christmas.